Welcome to class 4 of 6 in the Intro to Athletic Training series. We'll teach you how to produce and absorb force dynamically with control. Classes move from beginner to advanced progressions over the course of the series. It's for anyone with a desire to feel more athletic and is approachable for all fitness levels. All you'll need is some weights and your water, so let's get started. We're going to come down to the floor to start things off with our flow. Here we're going to start flow number 2. So we're going to have a half kneeling position, but with our foot out to the side. We're going to start by bringing our hands to the floor and sitting our hips back. As you sit the hips back, keep the sit bones towards the ceiling, bringing some slight extension through the low back so that we can keep that stretch through hamstrings and into the groin. And just sink in here, take a second, breathe. We're just warming things up, getting our tissues moving. From here, we're gonna flow, move up into the top position, anchor the ribs down, tuck the pelvis to get a stretch through the front of the hips. And from here, we're gonna take that hand and reach across the body. Same hand as that outstretched leg, reaching far away from that foot. And then taking the other hand and reaching across the other way, looking for a stretch through lats to the side. Breathing, just easing in here. Don't push too hard on that first round. We're gonna come through the second round now. Bring the hands back down, sitting the hips back, keeping the sit bones reaching to the ceiling. Support the shoulders here as well. Anytime we're supporting ourselves on the ground, we're thinking about pressing down into the ground and anchoring the shoulders. You deserve some support. And then come up to that top position, hands on the hips, press the hips through, anchor the ribs down, engaging abdominals, tucking the pelvis. And then reaching. We're gonna reach both ways, doesn't matter which one you start with. Keep that abdominal engagement as you reach over top. And you can bring the hands down. You can also use yoga blocks here to kind of boost the floor up to support yourself if you need. And just push into whatever your mobility allows and challenge that. So it might not look like mine. You might have more mobility than me. If you do, then you need more support. Excellent. We'll ease out of that. We'll come into the other leg. You can also have something comfy underneath your knee here if this is irritating for the knee. Bring the hands down, sit the hips back, keep the sit bones high. Come into that tall kneeling position, tuck the pelvis, engage abdominals. Reach each way. Breathing, just easing in, new side. Start off new. Reach long. Breathe. And then one more time through that. Hands down to the floor, supporting yourself. Anchor the shoulders, sit the hips back. Keep the sit bones high. Breathing. Sit in a little bit more. You can have this knee bent if you really need to, or you can reach it longer for more of a stretch down past the knee and into the lower leg. Make this your own. Tucking the pelvis, engage abdominals, and then a reach each way. Doesn't matter which way you go first. Reaching long. Excellent, great job. We're gonna come into our warm-up movements. We're gonna start with standing hip circles. So you can by all means have a chair next to the couch, a wall, something to support yourself. But challenge your balance, so only use it as much as you need. Here in the standing hip circles, it's really important to stabilize into that standing leg. We don't want our hips and our torso rotating with us, or side bending to get more fake range of motion of the hip. We really want to keep the hips square, parallel with the ground, and we want to stay over that top leg, torso upright and neutral here. So we're going to take ourselves through this range of motion. So coming into whichever leg you want, keep the feet nice and close together. You can have your hands out for balance here. And then we're going to come slight bend in that standing knee. Come into hip flexion, lateral abduction. I'm not turning my hips with me. My hips are square to the front. Internal rotation and extension. Nice. We're going to do 2 each way on each side. So we're going to come back the other way and around. Really anchoring abdominals here, anchoring the ribs down. Nice and slow here. This will help you feel the nuances of any compensation that you're going to make here for this movement. If you do this movement properly, this will show you your actual range of motion of the hip. All this other stuff is movement of the other, or our body on top of our other standing supporting hip, or side flexion through the torso, or whatever that might be. We might make different movement compensations. And last one, back, out and around. Good job. Keep working on these things, keeping yourself nice and still. Balance can be tough, especially when it's at the beginning of the workout and the warm-up. So use whatever you need there. We're gonna come into the other leg, slight bend in the standing knee, engage the torso, anchor the shoulders into the body. Keep those hips square to the front of you. Keep the whole foot down, so we want a little bit of weight into our big toe there. Oops, other way. Back and around, fighting to keep everything still except for the leg. Nice, great job. Plank to downward dog. So we'll come down to the floor here. We're gonna go back and forth between the plank and the downward dog. We really wanna support our shoulders in that downward dog, so pressing into the ground but anchoring our shoulders back. And then we want a strong abdominal engagement and a pelvic tuck in the plank position. So we'll start off in the plank. We wanna start with our hands about shoulder width, maybe a little bit wider. Into a strong plank, anchor the shoulders, press into the ground, tuck the pelvis. Hold this for a couple of seconds. And then you can go back into the downward dog, pressing into the ground, but anchoring the shoulders. You can do a little bit of pedaling here. Wherever you get to, you can have the knees bent a little bit in that downward dog if you need to. Nice. Last one, into the downward dog. Awesome, that'll get you warmed up more than you think it will. Jumping jacks. We're gonna start initiating some jumping movement here. Jumping jacks sounds easy. We've all been doing it as a kid, but we want to bring on some support here. Keep the shoulders anchored down. We're just gonna be bending at the elbows. We're not coming up here like this. So you can keep the shoulders anchored down, a little bend at the elbow, bring the hand toward the head. And then probably the most important thing, anchor the ribs down. As we impact in our jump, it can be quite easy to dump and extend and compress into the low back. So some abdominal tension, that slight tuck of the pelvis and abdominal tension, anchoring the ribs down, will help support you with that. And then the last thing is, whether you're going out wide or back into the center, we want to be into the big toe side of things. So the heels are not coming down here, just like in the pogo jumps in the week before, that kind of thing. We're gonna do 30 seconds here. When you're ready, anchor the ribs and go. Nice, steady speed. Steady breath, breathing once every 2 or 3 repetitions. Stay into the big toe, keep abdominals engaged, keep the shoulders anchored down. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and done. Nice. And you can go a lot slower. You don't have to jump so high, especially don't focus on jumping high. Just kind of moving the feet out and back. Nice work. We're gonna go through the warm-ups one more time. So we'll come back to the hip circles. You can grab a drink of water. Take a second if you need. You can hold on to something here again if you need. Challenge your balance though. Tuck the pelvis, engage abdominals. Get into that one leg, slight bend in the knee. Oh, hey. Yeah, it's hard. Out to the side. Keep those hips square to the front of you. Keep abdominals engaged so you're not dumping into the low back. It can be nice to keep a hand on your abdominals to maintain support there. To each side. Nice work. Switch sides. Bring your mind into the other foot. Any balance activity, I really like to bring my mind into that connection between the foot and the ground, up into my knee, hip, getting reception from all those sensory receptors down the line, knowing where my body is in space, controlling. Fight to support properly. Oh, yes. Last one. Great. Yeah, if you're doing that properly, you should feel a lot of muscle work here. Otherwise, you're gonna feel other areas of your body as you tip and, tuck and whirl and swirl and such. Excellent, let's come back down to our plank to downward dog. Practice supporting the shoulders in the downward dog position, any bend in the knee that you need there. Make it what you need it to be. And then a strong plank position. So we'll set that up first. Set the legs back, anchor the shoulders, press into the ground, tuck the pelvis. We always come back to this in the plank. And then out to our downward dog. You can have as much knee bending here as you want. This is a very active position, so anchor the shoulders. And then back to your plank. Tuck the pelvis, engage abdominals as soon as you come back here. And then back to our downward dog, just as active in a different way. Press the chest through. Last one. Whew. Great job. Jumping jacks. Work on keeping abdominal tension throughout the jumping jacks. Often we'll lose that. Anchor the ribs down, that tuck of the pelvis, and then keep the shoulders anchored down. and go. 30 seconds. Keep that tension here. Stay into the big toe. And you can go slower, slow it down. Five more seconds. Great job. Take a sec. Breathe. We're finished with our warm-up. Grab a drink of water, take a second. We're gonna come into our first group of the active dynamic movements or athletic movements. We're gonna be doing pause jumps. We're gonna be coming back to that rotation, that chop. We're gonna do lateral jumps, like a skater jump, and then we're gonna end with the hang clean, which is what we've been progressing up to. So this, we were doing snap downs. Now we're gonna be working on actual jumps, where we're gonna be pausing in between to assess our position, make sure we're loaded and going. So we want hips hip width apart, or hips, feet hip width apart, or a little bit wider, shoulder, toes facing forward. We're gonna start in the loaded position. So sitting, arms back, spine neutral, shoulders back, head back, loaded here. Should feel weight into our heel, midfoot, toes are down for balance. And then we're pressing all the way through, back down and sitting back. Don't focus on jumping too high. Focus more on just getting off the ground and then properly receiving the ground. So when we come back down, we're gonna be impacting now since we're actually jumping. We want to float down, landing toe, heel, floating through the knee, and then sitting back into the hip. This will end us in our loaded position so we can jump again. The longer we distribute, or the longer we take time to distribute the force, this floating down and through, the less impact there's gonna be on our joints, on our tissue, which is going to save us and our bodies from that impact. And we're gonna be able to do more of it. And if we transfer that to everyday activities or sports and stuff, you're gonna be able to do your sports without feeling as much discomfort, as much inflammation in the joints and the tissues. So very important. So we want to try and land as quietly as possible. So here we go, we're gonna do 6. We're gonna keep it slow and talk through it. So we're gonna come down into that loaded position. Using the arms, pressing up, we wanna go directly up and then float back down. Take a second, check your position, really engaging. Inhale, jump. As you push off, make sure the knees will want to cave in here to the center as you apply force through them. So make sure that as you press up and as you land, the knees are staying strong over the feet. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. Chop. We're using a light weight this time. I've got a 5 here. You could go all the way down to a 2 or something, or use a can of beans or whatever you got. We're gonna set up wider than hip width, shoulder width. We have load here now, so we need extra support. We're coming down, rotating outside of that 1 foot. We just pick one direction to go first. So I'm gonna go to my right. Loading that hip, straight line down from the hip through the knee into the foot. and then pressing out, rotating across, pressing out of that back foot through that hip to anchor here. Don't let that momentum carry you out of your body when we're not supported up there. So keep that right, or the front foot fully down on the heel and anchor back down into your base of support. So the shoulders are anchored down, the ribs are anchored down, glute is on, and you snap that into position as soon as you come up. So we're here, anchor. We're gonna do 6 on this side, and then we're gonna switch to the other side. Get a breath, loading, press out and move down. Practicing keeping that neutral spine, loading into that hip, anchoring down as you come here. You don't want to feel like momentum's carrying you forward. 3 more. This outside knee is rotating in. Last one. Nice. Take a second, take a breath. We'll switch sides. Come into your body. Rotating the opposite knee now. Keeping that alignment here. We want to build torque up the leg and into the hip. So if we allow that foot to slide, we're not building rotational force anymore, or rotational tension and force. Anchor the shoulders down, ribs are anchored down, abdominals on. So this foot, as you come back, will stop neutral, facing straight forward. One more. Nice. And you only speed things up when you can still maintain control. So anytime you start speeding up that movement, and you can do that movement quite fast, especially if you're training for snowboarding, any sort of spinning, rotational, baseball, figure skating, whatever that might be, we want to maintain our support though while we do it. Lateral jumps. So here you come to one edge of the mat to start a very similar loading position as we were in that chop here. And then we want a slight pause on the other side just to establish control. So don't worry about jumping too high or too far. Just work to what's comfortable and sustainable and you're able to control for yourself. A similar in the jumping snap down, or the jump that we were just doing, the snap down progression. We want to land with our toe into our heel, sit through the knee and into the hip. And we're going to do 6 on each side. The arms will come into play here, so you're looking for some momentum, but don't overly swing in these grand movements. That can build some rotational force that can send you out of line. So just keep the arms close as if you're kind of running, but allow those to help drive your force as well, movement. You'll wind here, and that same foot or same arm as the leg that's pressing off will come across, and then you'll be loaded here to do the same the other way. 6 each side. Practice absorbing into that hip. 3 more. Oh, nice. Last one. Traveling a bit there. That was great. Great job. Learn these things slowly and then progress as you feel more comfortable, as you have more control to faster, higher, more of them. Yeah, progressions are so important for sustainability and injury prevention. Hang clean. Possibly the most challenging exercise that we're doing today. We did some hang clean progressions. Here we're going to be coming into the squat position, so the final form of our hang clean. This has the same starting movements here, so feet hip width apart, weights, knuckles towards your legs, coming down the shin here. We're going to be keeping the arms straight, using the hips to start, following through with the toes up to the big toe, pulling up with the shoulders, up with the arms, and then pulling around into the front rack position and following, landing into our squat here. So we're absorbing that catch with our squat. It's also dual purpose, so once you get really comfortable with this and you can move more weight, you can do a lot of weight with this movement. It's an Olympic lifting movement, so they challenge themselves a lot. Not that you have to, but you can only, once you load so much, you can only lift that weight up so much. And then you would have to, in order to catch it, get down under the weight. So that's kind of the purpose of that squat in there, but we'll be doing more of a power clean, so coming up a little bit higher and then just squatting down with it. And you can slowly do that as well. But what it's gonna look like is this. So anchoring the hips, up and into the squat. And then we'll come up. You can kind of bring the weight down as you come up, reset, and we'll do 6 of those. So you can just practice those, take your time. Up through the hip, keeping the arms straight, up and down. Hips, toes, shoulders, arms, squat. 3 more. Just delay that arm bend and that pull as much as you can. 1 more. Excellent. You want the feet out wide as well when you catch, that allow you more mobility in the hip. Great job. Take a second, grab a drink. We're gonna go through those 2 more times and then do some stretches to cool down. We're gonna come back to our pause jumps. Keep practicing this. We're gonna do 6 of them. So we're gonna come down into our loaded starting position. Practice floating through that landing point. 6 of these. Pressing up, out of the toe, and then landing toe, heel, hip. Adjust here if you need, check in with yourself. Keep the knees strong over the feet. Last one. Very nice. Ideally, you're exhaling as you press out of the bottom. As long as you're breathing while you're doing the exercise though, then you're in a good spot. Chops. We'll come back to our weight. 6 on each side. Practice that rotational loading into that hip. Keep that line anchoring down at the top position. We're gonna do 6. Keep it slow for as long as you need. Don't rush the progression. Especially if you start moving faster and you feel your supports being lost, rein things back in, come back into your body, slow it down. Arms are staying straight the whole time, so we're not pulling and reaching. Last one. Excellent work. Grab a drink, take a second. We're gonna come into the other side. Set up your feet, bring your mind into the other side here. A lot of people find one side more challenging than the other. We have dominant side, more comfortable side feeling movements. So just bring some more practice in there. You can do a couple more on the other side that you don't feel comfortable with. Slow it down a bit more. Find those supports. Over time, you will feel exactly the same, which is very gratifying. Rotate into that hip. Anchor the shoulders down at top, abdominal tension. 6 of these. Neutral spine here, strong through the back. Great work. Lateral jumps. Keep practicing the coordination of the movement between the lower body and the upper body, very important for momentum. And then absorbing toe, heel, knee, hip as you come across. We're gonna do 6 each side. Take it nice and slow. Pause as much as you need. A longer pause will establish more control over the movement. So going faster sometimes is a lot easier because you don't have to control that stop. When you're ready. Six more. Into that hip, using the arms, driving across. Last one. Great job. Take a second. That's a lot of work on one leg. So you'll feel that, yeah, which is great. Hang clean. We'll come back to hang clean. This is a movement that you can move quite a lot of weight through, but be mindful how much weight you're using. You don't want your weight to compromise your supports and your movement. But sometimes having a little bit heavier weight can help you feel the use of your hips to start the movement, that snapping forward. Because that snapping forward is also lifting my arms up without moving anything else. And that starts the momentum of that pull. So we're gonna do 6 here. Hips, toes, shoulders, arms, squat. And you can pause that, pulling up and then squatting. So you can kind of separate the two a little bit if you need to. No harm in that. Sit back, neutral spine, open up the shoulders. You want to feel strong and supported. Try and drag that out. I was a little fast there on that one of my arm movement. Two more. Great job. Last round, best round. Coming up here. We're gonna come back to our pause jumps. Grab a drink of water, take as much time as you need. Bring yourself down a bit. Actively trying to control your heart rate. That's what the breath is for. When you've controlled your breath, that means that your heart rate is most likely coming down as well. And everybody's different, so you might need a little bit more time, especially if you're new to this kind of practice. Pause jumps. So a little bit of pause in the bottom. Starting in that loaded position. Whoops. 6 of those. straight up and down. So even though we have an arcing movement of the arms, we're not extending here. So abdominal tension at the top as you jump. And then float down through the feet, knees, and back into the hips. Last one. Whew, spicy. Great job. We'll come back to our chop. Breathing. Load into that hip. Keep that foot from rotating out. That'll build rotational tension. Shoulders anchored down, abdominals anchored down. 6. Nice and slow. Build those movement patterns, right? That's what we're looking for. Is we're building positive, good movement patterns. That's right, positive and good. Last one. Nice. Take a sec, we'll switch to the other side. Wide feet. Keep that back foot facing forward. Rotate, sit back into that hip. Anchor the shoulders back, anchor the ribs down. I'm over top of my feet here, not out here. Don't let that momentum of the weight take you away. Pull it back in at the top. Last one. Excellent. Lateral jumps. Breathing. Loading with the arms. Opposite arm coming across. Same arm coming back, loading into that hip. 6 each way. Take your time, pause. Establish control. Sit back into that hip. Drive out from the heel to the finish with the toe. 2 more on each side. Great job. You're slaying it. Last exercise. Come back to the hang clean. Feel free to adjust your weights. If you've been using a really light weight, you can add a little bit more if you feel comfortable. Or if you felt like you used too much, you're not able to control it, go down in weight. But do have something in your hands, even if it's 1 pound weights. Anchor the shoulders, arms stay straight. Use those hips. Initiate with the hips, through the toes. 6. Finish with the shoulders and then anchor down into the squat. Oh, a little quick on that one. It's always practicing. 2 more. Last one. Nice. I felt like I jumped a little bit more on that one. It's such a fast movement. Everything's happening fast. Always assessing the order of things, what you did. Seeing if you get full extension. I think on a couple of those, I didn't get quite full extension. I kind of stayed here and then into the squat. So feeling like you're coming up all the way here. Hips are forward, glutes are squeezed. We did it. Excellent work. Come down into a stretch. Into the 90-90 position here. And then we're gonna stretch through the hip. Breathe. So we're gonna come down to this knee with our chest hinging. So we're not flexing down here, but keeping the back neutral and hinging at the hip. You'll feel a better stretch through the glutes there. And then you can vary your position, coming towards the shin or the knee, or rotating back over the thigh. You'll feel a stretch in a different place in the glute. Stretch where you need to. And just breathe, sink in, a little support with the shoulders here. Maybe when I'm stretching at the end of exercise, I don't necessarily count the time that I sink into the stretch. I more think about staying in the right intensity. So hanging into the edge of the stretch, just before the edge where you feel yourself kind of coming to, and sit there until you feel that move. So you feel the capacity for more hinging then, where there didn't feel like it was there before. This might take 30 seconds. This might take a minute or two. This kind of gets us thinking away from thinking, how long am I in this for, to what do I want to get out of it? And I want more length. I want to decrease tension in the connective tissue, the fascia, and the muscle tissue around the joints that I just loaded with a lot of tension. And this will help speed up recovery and help you feel more mobile after this, less of that setting in of stiffness. So we'll switch to the other side, and then same thing, find the stretch that's right for you. This might be a different position on the other hip, but you want to sink into where it's more difficult, where there is more tension. So for me, it seems like a similar place, but for you it might be different if you use your legs in different ways, or in this exercise movement, you used one leg more than the other, which is very possible, especially if you have any, injuries niggling you. Hinging, sinking, waiting for things to change. Take as much time as you need, and then ease out of it when you are ready. The last thing we're gonna do is come to a seated neck stretch. So we're going to come into the seated position. You can be in a chair or on the floor, or on your knees, doesn't matter, but we want an upright torso. We want to anchor the shoulders down, and then stretching to one side. Just use gravity with your head as much as you can. You can do a little bit of a reach, reaching this ear away from the shoulder, but don't let that shoulder come with you. Reaching, anchoring it down. And then keep, upright position so the chest is open, shoulders are back. And you can kind of search that for what you need. Cool. And then you can ease out and stretch to the other side. Do as many of these as you need. Take as long as you want. Breathing. Again, getting something out of it. So that's really tight. Wait till that gives up. And then you can pull into that a little bit more. And then when you're ready, you can come out of it. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like the video, subscribe if you enjoyed the content, if you enjoyed this exercise class. And check out our app. It's in the description below if you want more help from us in your health journey. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.